One of the most common formulas you'll create in Excel is a formula that finds the sum of a column of numbers. Excel lets you create AutoSum formulas, which are sum, or in some cases other formulas, that you can create quickly with just a few keystrokes or clicks of the mouse. In this movie, I will show you how to create AutoSum formulas and also how to avoid a very easy to make mistake using the AutoSum workbook. That sample file is located in the Chapter 2 folder of the Exercise Files archive. I have a worksheet that contains quarterly data for revenue for the years 2014, 2015, and 2016. And what I'd like to do is to find the total for each of those 3 years across the quarters. I'm already in cell B9. If you're not there, please click it. And I can create a sum formula the manual way by typing it in, or I can use a keystroke. Now I want to create a formula that finds the sum of my 4 quarters sales for each year. So I'll start with 2014, and rather than create it by hand, I will use a key combination. And that key combination is Alt plus equal. So I'll hold down Alt and press the equal sign key. That gives me the formula equal sum B4 to B8. Those are my values. I'll press enter, and I get my sum. But for those of you with very sharp eyes, or perhaps you've made this mistake before yourself, use the up arrow key to move back to cell B9, that I'm actually finding the sum of the cells from B4 to B8. And B4 to B8 include the year in cell B4. I've made this mistake myself, but it was immortalized back in the early 1990s in a marketing video where a couple of actors were talking about spreadsheets, and one of them showed the other how to use the spreadsheet, created a sum formula that included the year. And for that reason, anyone who's ever seen that video or heard tell of it has remembered it and has remembered not to make that mistake again. So, learn from me. It's an easy mistake to make. So the question is, how do you avoid it? Well, one way to avoid it and still be able to create AutoSum formulas quickly is to not use just the number for the year, but to put something like Y, meaning year, or FY, meaning fiscal year, in front of the number 2014. So if I double-click in cell B4 and then move to the left of the 2, I can type FY for fiscal year and press either Enter or Tab, and there's the value. And then I can drag the fill handle, which is at the bottom right corner of cell B4 when it's selected, and that will extend the sequence. So I have FY 2015 and FY 2016. So here, my formula still looks at cells B4 to B8, so I'll press Delete to get rid of the formula, and then I'll press Alt plus an equal sign. I get sum of B5 to B8, which is correct. Press Enter, and there's my sum. If you want, you can enter an AutoSum formula into multiple cells at the same time. So I'll do that now in cells C9 and D9. I'll select those 2 cells, and then I will press Alt and an equal sign, and that gives me my totals. And if I click cell C9, I can see that formula there, and the same thing for cell D9. There are other options for creating an AutoSum formula. I'll leave cell D9 selected for now. On the Home tab of the ribbon, I can go over to the Editing group and click the AutoSum button's down arrow. And if I click that down arrow, you'll see that I can create an AutoSum formula for an average, for count, minimum, maximum, or if I want, I can click More Functions and go to the Insert Functions dialog box and enter any function I want. In this case, just to demonstrate the process, I'll click Average. I get my AutoSum formula, finding the average of D5 to D8, press Enter, and there's that value. Creating AutoSum formulas quickly helps you summarize your data efficiently, and that allows you to get on with the more demanding tasks facing you in your workbook. Don't forget that you're not limited to the sum function. You can select any function you like from the AutoSum button's down arrow list or the Insert Function dialog box.